Hi everyone, welcome to RPA Explorers.
And in today's video, we are going to see about flows or flows, like how you can create your work item through flows. So in the previous videos, I have shown how you can create your item using queue connector methods like create string work item, create JSON, pick, and so many other queue work item. And also I have created one use case on invoke subflows. So if you want to watch any of that video, I'll be leaving the link in the description so you can watch it. And before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel in case you guys find my content helpful. And now let's get into the video. And now let's understand the use case. We have already seen how you can create your work item from external sources, which is like out of ServiceNow instant using an external file, Excel file or text files. So if you have a use case where you want to create a work item from the data which you get from the ServiceNow itself, for example, it may be your tables or your service catalog task, incidents or service task or whatever it is. It's basically you want to make use of the data which is available inside the ServiceNow instance and you want them to add into your RPA hub, which is queue. But this is going to be the base for all other record. Okay, let's get started now. So the first step is to create your table. I have created the table which is called YouTube test table. So this is a table which I have created, and based on your requirement you can customize your column. And here I have few columns created, which is like content ID YouTube, name YouTube, company and batch. So just to differentiate the existing one and the new one, I have added this YT. And also if you want to add any default values, you can also do that. So currently I have the default value for the name, which is like name A, and let me also add for other things like batch. So I'll call batch A, and let's call it as XYZ is a company. And for similarly for content ID, I'm just going with something called 506 or something. Okay, and now let's save the record. Let's go to the table which we created now, which is called YT test table. And currently I have just only one record created. So in real time, whenever any record is created or updating an existing record, I want to create my queue work item. And now let's see how you can do that. So first step is to go to your flow, the flow designer, and then click on new. So I'm going to create my flow. Let's name the flow. So I have already, let me call it as demo, and just click on build flow. And the first step is to add your trigger. So let's click on add trigger. You can just schedule it or you can create based on the record. And also you have some applications like whenever an inbound email is received or based on the catalog task. And as we are going to concentrate on table, this is going to be under record. I'm going to create a record whenever it is created or updated. So let's choose this and let's choose a table name which is called YT table. And you have to provide your filters. So let's add the condition, and here I'm going to concentrate on the name, which shouldn't be empty, as this is going to be the name for the queue work item. So it should not be empty, so I'll just choose is not empty. If you want to add any more condition, you can add them here. So let's click on done, and then to add your action, so let's click on add an action. Let's add it. So first is to look up the table record so that we can get the values, and based on the value we get, you can add the items to the queue. So first let's try to filter with lookup record. So you have lookup records and lookup record. So the difference is that lookup record will be used to get the single record from the entire ServiceNow table. So based on the requirement you can switch between them. This is something like which gives multiple records. So I'm just going to concentrate on single record. So let's pick the lookup record, and then you have to select the table. And also if you have something called incident or anything, you can choose your incident table or whatever in your case. So let's choose a table name which is YT test table. And again, if you have any other conditions, you can give them over here. So I'm not going to give any condition, as my intention is to get the record from the table. So let's click on done. So now that we have got the record which is from the table, The next step is to add your queue work item. So let's filter with queue, and you get the add work item which is under this RPA hub. If you are already aware like how you can create your queue or queue work item, you might be aware of all these fields. In case you haven't watched my video, maybe you can watch it to get a better understanding on each fields over here. And let me quickly show the queue which we are going to use now. So this is the queue which is test queue. And for every work item you have different properties to be defined, like the name, stage, priorities, SLAs, your request content and everything. So when you go to the work item, here you can feed all the columns over here. So now let's configure each of them through the flow. And first you have to provide your queue name. So let's try to filter the available queue which is test queue, and then the name. This is nothing but the name which helps to identify each work item. So this is basically your name. So we're going to give the name which we get from the table. So I'm just going to create my work item based on this particular name, for which I'm just going to use this display picker option and lookup record. Inside this I want to get the name. So let's choose a name, and this content, this is nothing but your request content, so which will be in the JSON format whenever you add your queue item. It's basically your key value which is separated by comma, so you have to give in that format, and I'm going to follow the same over here. Okay. First let's add the curly braces, and then the first key which should be your name. So let me give it a name, and you have to provide your value which I'm going to pick it from the table. So let's pick the record from the lookup one. So now we have created the key which is called name and the respective value. The next is to add the second column. So let's add comma and click on enter. So just to make it clear. And finally we have ID. So let me call it as ID. Okay. So now we have given everything over here, and also you have something called type. So this is one of the columns from the queue. So in case you have any specific type, you can just give it. So let's try to give the column ID as the type. So I'll take the ID. And the priority, by default it is low, but you can switch between them. So let me make it high. Let's give the stage as well, which is one of the column. So like so it's again depends on your requirement. You can add your stage. For example, if this is something exception, you can add your exception type or your custom message from the request content. So let me leave it as blank. And again SLA, if you want to process this particular item before the given deadline, you can also give the SLA over here. And we have configured all other properties. So let's click on done, and that's it. We are done with the logic. Now let's click on save. So now I'm going to create a new record. So I have created one record in the queue, and currently I have 10 items in the queue. Okay. Let me quickly test the flow. As it is not activated, it will not automatically know whenever the record is created or updated. Now let's test it, and then we'll activate the flow. So let me choose the one. Let's see, run test. So it's processing. Let's view the execution details. Okay, so this is completed, and if you want to open the specific record, you can also open it. So this is the one which we created now, name A, C, ID and the B. Okay, and this is the lookup record, and then the add work item is also completed. So let's go to the queue and check it. I'm going to refresh it. So earlier it was just 10 and now it is 11. So let's just filter with created. Okay, so you can view that it is created this one now. This is from the test flow which I created. So yeah, this is done now. Let me try to modify it before I activate it. So now let's try to activate it and we'll create a new record. So I'm going to activate. And let me deactivate the one which I created already. And let me create a record now. So I'll just name it as ABC and we'll see D, E, F, G, H. So let's click on submit. And now let's go to the queue. We'll refresh the list. So it's created. You can see the name, the status, and also you can view the request content. So let me open and show the actual request content. So you can view the request content, and when you process it, you have to give the key name to your pick work item, and based on it you can get the value. And you can also test the negative scenario by not providing the value to your name column. I have completed the demo, and this is just a basic, and similarly you can make use of your other tables or record. In that way you can create your work item. So if you guys find this video useful, make sure you like and subscribe, and also please let me know your thoughts or any specific videos you want me to create in the comment section. So thank you so much for watching this video.